Today we have Erin and Jason Mencer. Hello, y'all.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Yeah, so we have a sorted past with these two, don't we?
Uh-huh.
We actually met you guys in Austin, right?
Yeah, it was Austin.
We were a part of Nacho Kids before that, but
Yep.
then we went to Austin and met in person, which was really cool.
Oh, yeah, because he gave it to you as a gift and you were mad. You were not happy about it.
I don't remember that.
So
Jason,
who
do you
buys a
remember
conference
that?
for a gift? Yeah, like who
Oh.
buys a conference for a gift?
Oh yeah. I didn't know what I was saying back then. I didn't know. It was
But we had a
dumb.
blast, though, didn't we?
We
Yeah.
did. We did. We really did.
Yeah,
And
so
we created lifelong friendship. So, because me
Yes.
and you have stayed in contact ever since, and that was like 2018, 2019, something like that.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all hadn't
Yeah.
been married long, I don't think.
Yeah. We got married in 2018. So, and it was pre-COVID. So,
Well,
Yeah.
let me say it this way. For those who are listening, you got married the first time.
yes,
Yeah.
the
So
first time.
let's kind of get to the end and then go back to the beginning. You
Sure.
guys got married, divorced, and then remarried.
Correct.
So you
Yes.
had an opportunity to run and you didn't do it.
And he moved from Florida to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yes.
that's the short of it, but I want to hear all the stuff in between because that has to be one heck of a story. Because
Yes.
most of the time, if if you divorce from your significant other, especially in a blended family, like
Yeah.
you don't want to have anything else to do with it. There's
Yeah.
so much damage. Most people are
Mhm.
like, it's just easier to start over.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I guess
But
let's
thankfully, Erin loved him.
yes.
Well, I
And
will
Jason
tell
did
you.
nothing.
I loved her too.
I will tell you the day we got divorced, we were sitting in the courthouse and he looked over at me and he said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I looked at him with tears in my eyes and I said, "No." But there's a lot of layers there, so we can dive into that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and you had told me you didn't want to, but you had to.
I felt like I had to. Um for sure. There was we lived with my parents at the time and I'd kind of like, it was like felt like I was committed to it. Like, well, we're doing this, like we're already got everything rolling in motion and just there was a lot of heaviness going on and I felt like I had to.
And he had
There
already
was no
moved at that point, right?
he hadn't he was living in living in the house still, but was soon to be moving. So
Okay.
everything
Yeah.
was already kind of set in motion.
So let's go back to the first time, first marriage.
Yeah.
So you guys get together. What does the beginning look like?
So, I don't want to be the only one to speak, but I will say that it was typical stepmom situation where I jumped in head first, did everything I wanted to do with the kids and trying to be a mama to them. I think my expectations were it was going to be a natural family, like I didn't we really didn't know we were getting ourselves into with the blend for sure. Um, we got married in May of 2000, actually Cinco de Mayo, 2018. Um, and I just, like I said, I jumped in head first and wanted to take on all these things and help the kids and be there for them. And he was like in a situation where his job was changing to he was moving from one location to another and the house I was building at the time was closer to his new work and so I was like, hey, like, you move in with me, like this will be easier, you won't have to drive as far. And so I just kind of like head first, let's do this.
All in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all in. I was all in.
So we just got married pretty quickly.
We did.
We were together for 8 months, I think it was, and then got married.
on the
Yeah.
the year to the date that we met.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
And so Jason has a little context here. Jason has 3 kids from his first marriage. I have a daughter from my first marriage. And so at the time they were 2, 4, 6, and 8. Which my daughter was 4 at the time. She fit literally right in the middle. And we were like, we kind of laughed about that. We're like, it's funny that Courtney fits like right literally in the middle of all of your kids.
Mhm.
So it felt like it was meant to be.
So many
Now my son's
signs,
about
right?
to turn 17. So
Wow.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. The 8-year-old's about to be 17.
Yeah. So
so
so when did how far into the relationship did things kind of start getting strained to the point where you were starting to look for some resources?
I mean, pretty much right away. Like within, I remember being in our, like a month to our wedding and we were struggling.
yeah, I think we just didn't understand. I mean, like I think Erin said, I think her expectations were more like a nuclear family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you quickly realize like this isn't how it is going to be. Like it's not going to be like a nuclear family.
Mhm.
And we didn't know where to go. But we knew there was different like resources out there for. I would listen to podcasts and kind of point her towards some. I don't know if she found you guys originally or if I did. I don't quite remember.
I think you did.
Um,
I think you did.
but
We
it
were
was
just searching.
yeah, we were just trying to find something to like just people that have been through this before
Yeah.
and just to get some advice or just to see what they've gone through and how we could we could do it.
We
Right.
had other issues in our relationship, but definitely the blend had, the kids exacerbated all of those issues. Not nothing to do with them specifically, but just all of the challenges that come around blending a family can be hard, especially, for us. We were like newbies or whatever, we didn't know what to expect and know really what we were getting ourselves into.
Right. And, a lot of times everybody blames the kids, right? But it's not the kids as much as it's the
No.
dynamics.
Correct. Yes. Yes, for sure. Um, I mean, and that, and I don't know. It just, I think I had that, like, my parents have been married for over 50 years, and his parents, he was in the same situation. So we both come from, parents that have stayed together, and so I just kind of had that in my head. That's what I expected, it to look like. And that's not what it looked like. And we are opposites, like in a lot of ways. They say opposites attract, and it's true. Um, and as time went on, I think I realized that was one thing, not to jump too far forward, but one thing that I realized that those qualities in him I really liked. They're qualities that I didn't have. We kind of balance each other out.
Yeah.
And two, do you think that you were more adamant to make it work because you didn't want another failed marriage?
I think 100%. Like
Yeah.
you try your hardest because it's like I had in my mind too like before our first like before the divorce. Um, I've even said to myself like if I can't make it work with her, like then there's like no hope for me because it's like she does so much stuff and such a great person. And it's like she'll do anything. And like I was just like if I can't make it work with her, something's wrong with me because it's like I just it was just she does everything. I tell her she's Superwoman.
Oh my goodness. Not Superwoman. But that's where there's a lot of things that, like, I think as time went on, we realized like, okay, like, hey, he's good at this, I'm good at that. Like we can like mesh these things together. And to like, um, we've had a lot of growth since, like personal growth since then.
Mhm.
So that definitely changed a lot of dynamics for us personally.
Yeah.
So
I think blending, to be successful in blending, there's a lot of personal growth that has to happen.
yes.
I don't know why it's like that in blended families where it's not quite as much in a nuclear family, but I do see that oftentimes, actually, probably every time.
Yeah.
There just has to be a lot of personal growth.
Yes.
And you really have to learn how to do life differently.
Yep.
And that goes way beyond how to deal with kids and how to deal with the blend. It's like, how do you deal with you? How do you deal with your preconceived conceived notions of what things were supposed to be like and your expectations? And
Yes.
what do you get mad about now versus what
Right.
you don't? And I mean everything.
Yes.
It's like you change almost everything about you, and mostly in a good way. It's not like you're going, oh, I got to change everything about me and it's terrible, I should be able to stay who I am. It's
Yeah.
not that. It's really good growth, but for some
Sure.
reason the blend forces you to do that more so than
Yeah.
other things.
True. The words pick your battles really is a true statement with the situation, because there's certain things you just have to be like, okay, I'm not gonna stress about that. And I feel like when we were married the first time, that I let a lot of little things bother me. And I've learned that like those you can't control everything. You've got to learn to let some stuff go. And it's not, and I also had a lot of preconceived um thoughts in my head of like, oh, if it's always this way, or if it's this way now, it's always going to be this way. And I quickly saw, and my relationship with Jason's son is a perfect example of things don't always, they're not, they will change, they will be different. And so just because it's this way now doesn't mean it will always be that way.
Yep.
And
Those
so that would
ants.
be that's one piece of advice for sure that I would give somebody else, is like, hey, just because it's this way now doesn't mean that, down the road it will always be that way, because things do change.
Yeah,
People change.
absolutely they do. Even though people say they don't. I'm the
Right.
same person I've always been. No, nobody's ever the same person.
Oh, I'm not.
Yes.
Pre-Nacho
Yes.
Lori and post-Nacho Lori are two completely different people for the better.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Same.
No
I feel
doubt.
the same. It's not perfect. There's things that we've learned, that we've overcome, but then there's new challenges too, because now we have teenagers. Our kids now are 11, 13. One's about to be 15, and then Caden's about to be 17. So
He just got his license today.
he did.
Ooh.
Oh.
He did.
Oh, that's a challenge. That is a challenge.
Yes.
Erin, do not put Life 360 on your phone for that
Oh
kid.
my goodness.
I
Because
just
you
told him we
will-
have we have like
already-
360 for us.
Yeah,
But
but she's
I've
gonna
already got
watch
his
you.
location, but I can't see like speed and stuff like that.
Okay,
but
good.
yeah.
Because I would watch Ethan driving and I'll be like, he's going 89 miles an hour and he's had his
He
license a
still
week.
does that. He's 26.
Well,
and
that
she's
was
Um,
different. So anyway, I wouldn't text him right then because he was driving, but as soon as I saw he stopped, I'd be like, slow your roll,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking if our
Yes.
insurance goes up, I'm gonna flip out.
Yeah.
But the other day, his daughter was here. She's like, I want my daddy, I want my daddy. And I was like, well, look. And I showed her on Life 360. I was like, look, daddy's 3 minutes away. Let's follow him. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, daddy's speeding.
Yeah.
Daddy's going 12 miles over the
Yes.
speed limit, whatever.
Isn't technology funny? All the things that you can like see now and learn about like people.
I'm so glad they didn't have that when I was growing up
yeah.
I know. Me too.
because I was
Me
never
too.
where I said I was going to be.
Me too. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So let me ask you this about him getting his license and stuff. I know with us, it was a big thing about insurance
Yeah.
because they lived with us. Well,
Mhm.
it was 50-50, but they were on our insurance.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal because, one person gets a ticket, the insurance goes up.
For everybody.
Yeah. You have a wreck and it goes up for everybody.
Yep.
So we were under the agreement that if one of them had a wreck or something, that whatever the insurance went up, that child was responsible for that,
Yeah.
until it went back down, basically, or for 3 years, because I think that's how long it lasts.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. The only thing that happened was one time Ethan came back from the Air Force for a break and he got in a little fender bender. And I called the insurance company and I'm like, no, you're not raising my insurance. And he said he did something and said when Ethan went to get his own insurance, he would have to pay more then.
Uh-huh.
So we didn't have to pay that. Phew, thank you.
Yeah.
So have y'all had those discussions or you're just kind of like, it is what it is?
I mean, I said that today. I was like, if he gets into an accident, our insurance is gonna go up even more. But I'm praying that doesn't happen. But you just
course.
you don't know. You don't know.
I got in an accident in the first 24 hours.
Oh
I
my
had
goodness.
my license. So
Why does that not surprise me?
first 24 hours, and it was like, but my insurance didn't go up because we never turned it into the insurance. We just sold the truck.
Your mom did tell me that you had people with you and you weren't supposed to.
Yeah, I had people with me.
Yeah.
I had someone in the back of my truck.
Oh my word.
So that was I was doing
Wow.
everything I wasn't supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
But,
I had a lead foot. I got so many speeding tickets. I think the first year I had my license, I ended up having to go through like defensive driving. They called it something else, but basically it was like get some points back on your license
Yeah,
because I
taking
lost so many, I almost lost my
Oh
license.
my word.
Well, I want to clarify for our listeners that I've always cracked on Jason pretty hard. So this is nothing new. We've been doing this for a while.
Yes.
He doesn't take it
Yes.
personally.
No.
take anything personally.
Yeah, he's so easygoing. I'm more of the one that's like, especially I think when we were married the first time, I like would just let all the little stuff bother me and I was like walking around mad and like anxiety and
Yep.
now I'm like, why? Like why? Like you just can't let that stuff bother you because it only affected me. Like,
Right.
well, it did, but then I like kind of pushed that on everyone else because I was feeling it and that's not a good environment. So
Yeah. And it's, it's like that course, the fives. Is it going to
In
matter?
100 years.
David says in 100 years, like nothing's going to matter in 100 years, right?
yeah.
But if we look back at the stuff that just ate us alive,
Yes.
did 5 years later, did that really matter?
No.
And anything
stuff
that
that-
did is because we let it continue to eat at us 5 years later.
Or the funny part
Or-
is when you're like, you remember when we got that knockdown drag out? I don't even remember what it was about. It's
Mhm.
like, really?
Yes. And just even like thinking like, oh, well, this is gonna matter in a couple years. And like I feel like God has shown me like, no, it doesn't. See, you're seeing it now. None of that mattered. None
Right.
of it mattered. So
Yeah.
Yep.
none of it mattered for sure.
You've changed your
Uh,
perspective.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
My eyes have been opened for sure on a lot of different things.
All right. So let's
For the
look at, okay, so you guys fairly quickly got in, you realized you were over your head. And so you did find Nacho Kids. You joined the academy. We've done a lot of coaching with you guys, group coaching and such, and met you at the conference, all that good stuff. So you're applying the methodology. Are you seeing any results doing that?
We did. For I think for a while, but then I think I kind of backed. It was not the method, but it was me. I like backed off from doing what I should have done, and then it all the resentment was building, and it just went down a bad road. There was other things in the situation, other things that were happening alongside of not just the blend, but other marital issues that we
Yeah.
had.
I think though when she actually like would Nacho and like be like, hey, you need to take care of them, like or take care of this, whatever happened or whatever. I think it was one of the best outcomes. But then it's like she would Nacho some stuff and then some stuff she wouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's like half foot in, half foot out. And it's,
But
so
typically,
it worked sometimes and sometimes it didn't. And we could tell when that was usually.
But I
Yeah.
can tell you that today I do it, especially when it comes to disciplining the kids. I think I like didn't fully realize unconsciously that I was doing it until like we were approached, and I started thinking of all these things I'm doing. I'm like, I am nachoing. It's like when there's an issue come up, I will, before when we were married the first time, I would just try to handle it and jump in. And now I'm like, I'll pull him aside or text him or go another room. I'm like, babe, like this needs to be addressed, and then he'll go address it with the kids. And it just is beautiful how smooth it makes things when it comes from him versus when it comes from me. And so it doesn't damage my relationship with the kids, and he can be the dad, but we're still being a team together. And so that has been huge in our second marriage. So I will say, for anybody that doubts it, it 100% works when you do it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in.
Yeah. But what I was about to say is usually when we'll just say in your case, like Erin's nachoing sometimes and then sometimes she's not. Usually
Right.
the times that you're not is because you're not accepting the outcome you're seeing. In other words, Jason, you're not doing what I think you should be doing, and therefore I have to step in. I can't nacho this. That's
Right.
that's kind of what's going through your mind, whether you realize it
Yeah.
or not. And
Yeah.
so that's usually what's happening when somebody's like, "Well, I'm nachoing sometimes, I'm not nachoing other times." It really boils down to you're not getting what you think should happen in that situation.
And it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Well, not only that, let me say something to all you men out there. If you're not stepping up and you're not parenting your kids, then you get those types of reactions because
Mhm.
somebody has to do something. And if you're not
Yes.
stepping in and being the parent you're supposed to be, then
Mhm.
it all falls apart. You can't
Yes.
blame the woman because she keeps interjecting and stepping in when you're not filling the gap. There should be
Yes.
nowhere for her to step in because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, Jason.
Mhm.
I'm kidding.
No, I'm not talking about Jason. I'm just talking about I see this
All the time.
all the time
Yeah.
where men, and trust me, I did it. So I know
Yeah.
it's not like I'm fussing at people. I did the same thing. Lori come
Mhm.
in, she's taking over all the responsibilities, she's filling this gap, and I'm like, cool, have at it. I got
Yeah.
other things to do, and
Yes.
I
Especially
walk
when you have
away.
multiples. When you have multiples, it's harder.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so I just, I let her do her thing. And then when it starts falling apart, I look at her and go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then you don't realize until you look back on it and you're like, wow, we both set each other up for failure.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
had just as much to do with it as she did. I should never
Right.
have let her step in that way. Now,
Mhm.
I don't know if I could have come to her from day one and be like, you know what? I just need you to keep your mouth shut and don't say anything to my kids.
She couldn't have done it like that.
Well, I think there's like situations too where like, and I'm sure this was the case with Lori's, like maybe you would see something or hear something that he wasn't around, like he was in another room or downstairs or outside or whatever. And so when that comes up, I'll tell him like, hey, I heard blah blah blah, or like this needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Fill
Well,
in
and we're on
the
high
gap.
alert. As step parents, you're
Yes.
on high alert. You hear your kid can do the same thing that his kid's doing. You're not going to hear your kid do it. You're going to hear
Yeah.
his kid do it.
Yeah. I like to tell
Yes.
people the neighbor's dog drives you crazy, but not your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
For sure.
let me kind of throw this out there. This is what happened to us because you mentioned that you're going to him and you're like your kid did this. You step in and handle that. One of the things that we messed up on a little bit on that was I asked her like, tell me when the kids mess up. Let me do something about it. The problem with having 4 kids is that there always is somebody messing up. And so it was literally every single day, our conversation was Ethan did this, or Branson did this, or Avery did this, or Mason did it every single day. It got to the point where I didn't even want to have that conversation with her every day because it was all about what my kids were doing wrong and what am I going to do about it?
Well, and it was
Yeah.
mostly because I would talk to him on the way to work after I had just had the hellacious morning with all these kids.
Yeah. And I would say, tell me how your morning went. Cause I wanted
Yeah.
to, report back. And then it was my entire day, 7 in the morning, she's telling me how it went off the rails. So my entire day is what am I going to do at 4:30 when I get home and get the kids out of
Mhm.
school? And how am I going to handle that happened? And it was just miserable, really. And that was one of the problems that we had that really damaged our relationship to the point where eventually we just kind of stopped talking in the morning calls because it was just I couldn't deal with the complaining all the time. And it wasn't her complaining because she wanted to, it was her complaining because I asked her to. Like, tell me how your
Right.
morning went.
Yeah.
And she did.
And then I know too, there was times where I thought David should address something that he didn't think was a big deal. So, for instance, if I said something like Ethan, we pick on poor Ethan all the time, but I was like, Ethan, and he's like, what? I'm like, he should address that. You don't talk to me like that. That's rude. You should say,
Yeah.
ma'am, right?
Yeah.
But when David would say something to him, he'd say, Ethan, and he'd be like, what? Well, David didn't consider it as being rude or disrespectful.
Right.
So I was going to ask y'all, Jason, has there been an instance where Aaron's came to you and been like, this needs to be addressed? And you're like, I don't see it that way. Or do you just say, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am?
I think like, just what the example you gave, like I feel like I have a higher tolerance for attitude, and I know a lot of times I chalk it up to their ages, like that
They're only
you
5.
know 11 or 11, 13, 14, like but she'll be like, they got an attitude with me, and I'll be like, what they say, like just like what you said, you know. And she's like, I would never let Courtney talk to you that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yep.
if
I
Courtney
wouldn't.
talked to me that way, I wouldn't even realize she was talking to me that way, probably. But like, I mean, it just, I don't want to say she's more sensitive to it, but I mean, she's, you know,
We're different. Like we were
yeah.
raised different. But he always like, now he backs me up, whereas
I try to like my ears open more to hear if they come out like with an attitude about stuff, and I'll be like, if I hear it, I will say something like, hey, watch your attitude, or you know,
Mhm.
why do you have to have an attitude when you say that? My youngest, I mean, I've had teachers call, she gets an attitude with the substitute, or she's got an attitude. So I'm like, she's a little ball of attitude all the time. So um, it's not just at home, it's with teachers and stuff like that too. She's been doing good, but um, yeah, she'd be the one I think that we had the most
yeah,
attitude with. She
yeah.
just,
You're
But
like,
he
see,
but it's
puts
all
Aaron,
the time. I mean, my mom, my sister, she'll get an attitude with anyone. So it's like, I think it's just her way of sticking up for her size, I guess. I
But you
don't
don't tell
know.
and
Aaron
I
that.
think
You don't say, well, she's like that with everybody. Don't take it personally. Just let it go.
Yeah, no,
no,
no.
he
I try to correct it
he
when I do
does.
hear it,
He does.
but I mean, I don't always hear it, or I'm not paying attention, and she'll be like, "You were right there. You didn't hear her say that." And I'm like, "No, I did. I
But
did."
you do like if I say something, he backs me up, and he doesn't get like defensive or like he knows.
Yeah,
We've learned through our, everything we've been through, like we're on the same team. This is not a me against you. This is like we're two become one. So I don't get defensive, he doesn't get defensive. It just is what it is. He backs me up and we deal with it as it comes. And there's other like layers to with the youngest, things that she's gone through with her mom and stuff like that, that is just part of it. She's trying to figure things out. So um yeah, it's not become a problem.
Well, and two, I'm sure Jason realizes now more than he probably realized earlier, or maybe it wasn't even true earlier, that this is coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a
Yes.
place of judgment against your kids or
Yes.
judgment against you as a parent.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that we are a team, and he knows my heart. He knows I want the best for them, and I want to raise good human beings. We
But
want
they're not
them
your
to.
kids.
yeah.
I know, but I mean, I've been with around Aria since she was 2. I mean, I changed her diapers, so
Yeah.
like I look at her sometimes, like I'm her stepmom, but she's part of me. I've she probably has always remembered me being in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember telling Mr. Butler, but I want them to grow up and be fine, outstanding young men. And he's like, but they're not your kids.
yes, I know. I
Mhm.
know. But
Yeah.
it's just like a friend's kids. I feel like you still want the best for them.
Yeah, you care.
Even if it were like my best friend's kids, I would still, you still want the best for them and to be, one day good human beings to our world. So
Yeah. So take us to the part where things just aren't working and you guys, or at least one of you, has decided to file for divorce.
oh, those
It's hard, I
rough
know.
times. Oh yeah, rough times. So I think we were kind of at our wits' ends, didn't know what to do. My parents lived with us and they unfortunately saw and heard arguments and stuff. And so I just I was also oversharing too much with friends and they were inserting their opinions and that's hard um in a relationship when I just felt lots of heaviness and like this is like the only path. Like I just it was like the end.
Yeah, I think it was a series of a bunch of events like
Yes.
through COVID. I mean, COVID wasn't too bad, and but I also at that point I lost my job and I got it back, but I couldn't. The times that I got like I could go back to work were the times that I had my kids. So it's like I would be putting everything on her. And I was like, this schedule doesn't work for me. These people like just irritated me the way they handled everything. And so I left that job and took some other jobs and did some side jobs. And like, I was still making money. So, but money was, and it wasn't the issue, but um, Aaron likes security.
Yes. As
And
every woman does.
and working side jobs is not security. So we were making by, but it wasn't good. And I think like her mom and dad saw those like jumps and um, you know, her dad's like a secure person too. And so I don't know what all that was said between them. But it was like just trying to go back. I was in a bad place, I think, too, just
Yeah.
mentally, because it's like I felt like I wasn't doing anything right. I wasn't holding a decent job. The job that I did have was not paying great, and I don't know, it just wasn't great for me.
There was a lot of breakdown in our relationship in a lot of areas. Not just the blend, but it was a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Financially, family, friends. It was kind of we were coming at us at every direction.
And we were taking the advice from everyone, but like not listening to ourselves.
Yes.
We weren't like going to God about anything.
Right.
We weren't. I don't think we were praying. We were going to church and stuff, but it's like we're just going through the motions of everything.
Yeah.
And we just weren't like, we weren't like praying together or anything like that to try and to move us forward as a couple or to keep the enemy out of our relationship. And they just like creeped in and consumed the relationship. And
We were both probably a little hard-headed too.
yeah, we were very, very, very hard-headed. I would say. I mean, I know I was, and it's like, I know we got in an argument one time, and I was like, she said something, I forget, and I know her mom and dad were listening, and I went down and I was like, "You're gonna let your daughter talk to me like that?" And of course, he took her side right away. So like,
Yeah, that didn't end
that
well.
didn't end well. So it's like,
Let's drag your
I love
parents
my
into this
parents.
fight.
I love my parents for
Oh,
sure,
like-
but it's hard being married,
yeah,
living, and especially in the situation we were in. It was tough.
Yeah.
They know.
but so it wasn't. I mean, I'm as much to blame as anyone else in the situation. That I wasn't doing things the right way, I feel like. And we got to a point where we knew we had to do something. We didn't know what to do.
We wanted like just a like I don't want to say a break, but we both just needed like peace. We were like, how do we hate it. We were just miserable. We were
Yeah.
both miserable and didn't know how, like we wanted to fix it. I think in our hearts we wanted to fix it. We didn't know how. There was like no light at the end of the tunnel at all.
Yeah.
It was like, this is terrible. We got all this stuff stacked against us, and all I saw was like, no, like this is never gonna work.
And we were like, we talked about, oh, well, maybe do we just get separated? And I'm like, well, what does separation look like? I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Like, do we still have the same bank account? Like all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, everything I went through in my head, I'm like, I don't see it working.
Yeah.
Like,
He didn't. I wanted to like to have the separation before we filed, but yeah, he couldn't see how it worked, and I was like, all right, well, I guess this is what we got to do,
so,
because there's no way that we can figure this out.
so we got divorced, and it wasn't probably like, what, 4 or 5 months later, we're back talking. Like,
I don't think it was even that
yeah,
long.
probably not even.
I think it was like 2 months.
2 months we're talking, we're like going out without her parents knowing.
It
You
was,
know, they
we
were like,
little
"Are you
kids.
crazy?
Yeah, we were like,
Aaron, what is wrong with you?"
Yeah, no, that's
you
why
not
we
remember
didn't
that
tell.
time he come downstairs and said, "You don't
Yes.
let your daughter talk to me."
I know. That's why we didn't tell them, because I knew it was going to be drama if we told them, and they didn't understand. But I
And
knew in my
plus-
heart, I was like, I love him. Like, I still love him. Like, I remember the day we got divorced, and you looked at me. I said this earlier. You looked at me and you were like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "No." But I just felt like I had to. I needed. When you both needed a break, we needed to figure stuff out or whatever. Just there was no way to fix it. But yeah, we just kind of, and we started dating. We just kind of always like, we would talk. We wouldn't talk. We would talk. We wouldn't talk. We kind of just went through this weird, like, back and forth thing.
yeah.
And then I think when, like, so we got divorced in May of 2022. And then we kind of like, I think the longest point we didn't talk was like 7 weeks. Right?
I don't remember.
We like between all our breaks, like we never really like disconnected for too long. And then in February, actually Valentine's Day of 2023, I get this random message from him. I don't even remember what you said. I don't remember what he said, but I was like,
Aaron.
I was like so excited to hear from him. I messaged my best friend. I was like, guess what? Jason messaged me, text messaged me, and
She's like, don't do it.
No, she was like, don't do it. And I was like, here I go. Like as fast as I could. Because I was excited to talk to him again. And so really from that point, we decided that like we were gonna like be together. We were gonna try this again. We were gonna try and do this again. So we dated after divorce for about 1.5 years.
Wow.
Well, so we did, and then we got to a point. It was, well, that wasn't 1.5 years, was
Yeah,
it?
it
'Cause
was.
it was
Over a year. It was like February 2023 until like May of 2024. It was almost 1.5 years.
May. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got my years wrong. So, because then it's like, then we came to, it came to a point. It was like, it was going good. The kids were okay. They knew about it. Family knew about it.
Friends knew about it.
My parents would come down and stay with her. Like they stayed that winter. They were there for like 3 months almost.
Yeah.
At her house.
Living in my house with us, like not together. But his parents, I love his mom, his dad, all his whole family has been wonderful. They've always been like pro Jason and Erin. Like they always wanted us to work. So
yeah. And then it got to a point again, where I was talking about moving.
Yep.
And my kid's mom she was talking about moving, and I said the only place we could move is Pennsylvania. It doesn't make sense to start over in a different state. We did talk about South Carolina because it's like halfway, but
Could have been
yeah,
Darn
like
it.
yeah,
Darn it.
I was just like I just don't like I can't go. Only place I can go and get help, like as far as like
family.
I know that I have a job up here, or I know that I'm going to be able to make it financially up here is in Pennsylvania. It wouldn't be like starting over from scratch, and in Florida I had a little 2-bedroom trailer and it was like cheap, and like that's the only way I made it down there was because it was so cheap because I rented it from a friend. And
It wasn't a good situation for the kids.
no, it wasn't, but we
Yeah,
do.
there was a lot. So there was like a lot of pressure for him to move. And I just kind of started realizing, like, gosh, like, I can't, like, my life is here in Florida. Like, my daughter's father is here. Like, there's no way he'll let me, like, go with her. I just didn't think it was possible. And so
So we kind of did
we
like
just
pushed each other away again.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
because I was like, I knew that it would be like the life for the kids that they could have here in Pennsylvania, being around his family because they're so wonderful, would be good for the kids support wise. And so I just was like, I don't want to hold him back from that. And being able to be up here to help run his family business. I knew something that he always wanted to do. And like we had talked about that for years, when we were married the first time. And so I just didn't want to be the one to hold them back. And I think there were still like some of the kids were hesitant about our relationship. And so layer upon layer again, I was like, you just need to go. Like that's what's best for you. Um, and so we separated in May
Again.
again. Yep.
but still talked.
Yep. Yep. We went back to our kind of same habit of like talking again. And then finally in October, he um he like we stopped talking and he got himself a girlfriend.
Jason.
I know. I think it was. I don't
There
know
ain't
what I
no
was thinking.
excuse.
I
There
don't know
ain't
what I
no
was thinking,
excuse.
honestly. I'll be honest. I don't know. So
It was a
And I
test.
was
It's like, let's see how much Erin really cares.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I clearly was not
I don't know if it was like it made moving up there, moving back to Pennsylvania easier. Um, I don't know what it was like because we were still talking, and we were still like trying to figure it out. Like, how are we gonna make it work? Like, if I'm in Pennsylvania and you're
In
in
the
Florida,
meantime, I'm going out with Heather.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's pretty much what happened.
So
Needless to say, I wasn't happy about
yeah,
it.
she wasn't happy,
No.
but
But that is what propelled my personal growth. So after that, we just like we basically cut each other off for 7 months,
yeah,
6 months,
6 months.
6 months. Didn't talk, which is the longest we had ever not talked. And I just like dove headfirst into God and personal growth and what can I do, was like reading the Bible. I got baptized, was serving in church. Just I made this list of all these things that I wanted to do for myself that I'd never really done before. I lost 60 pounds and just wanted healthy me. And so I started prayer journaling because I remembered back when I was doing therapy after our divorce. At that point, that was like 20, the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. And so my very first journal entry was, if we are meant to be, when we both are in a healthy place, like God, you'll bring us back together. And he did just that. Just that. It's crazy. Like it brings tears to my eyes thinking about it. And so we went through that process, and during that process, I would still talk to his sister occasionally, and
You'd be like, he's still with
I
that skank hoe.
Well, I actually had this dream. I had this dream about I hadn't like really honestly, he was so far from my mind. Like I didn't want to think about him. And I had a dream one night and I woke up and I was like, um I need to reach out to him because our last conversation wasn't nice. I was not a nice person. I said some mean things out of hurt. And so I God just laid it on my heart, was like, you need to apologize. You need to make it right. And I went into it like not even thinking that he was going to answer me. I was like, I just want to say my piece and apologize because this is what God laid on my heart. And that's it. Like I didn't expect a response, nothing. Wasn't even like thinking that he was going to answer. And so
Almost like
I
your
Little did she
closure.
know I broke up with that girl like 2 days before, like a day or two before. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
there was like, it was just a part in me that I was like, this isn't going to work. And I'm like, as much as I'm like trying to make a relationship work with this person, I was like, it's not going to work.
and you said you had been like you had thought about me or whatever.
Yeah, well, of course, I thought about you,
Well, so let me back the story up a little bit. So that
but
hap-
that's not why I broke up with the girl. I just
yeah,
knew, like, hey, this is not a relationship
sure.
that is going to work. Because I've always had like a mentality of like, if I can't see myself marrying this person, then I'm not going to continue dating that person. Even through high school, like my relationships were like 2 weeks long. It's like I remember saying that to
Next.
myself in high school, and I'm like, why am I with this person? Like, they're not the type of person I want to marry. So just I'd be like, hey, this ain't working. So
Bye. See ya.
Then you met
yeah,
Erin,
so
like, I
Bye,
think I'd marry
Felicia.
her twice.
Literally. So this is kind of funny. So that happened. The dream and like reaching out to him happened in March, but I'm gonna back the story up a little bit. In January, my uncle passed away, and I drove to my parents' house. They lived 2 hours away, and I got up in the morning and left to drive up there. And on my way, and I haven't seen Jason or talked to him since October. So on my way up there, I pull in the gas station to get gas, and his car is in the pump in front of me. And
No
I was
way.
like, oh, heck no. So I back my car up and go to the pump like as far away as I can because I knew he was with that girl. And I also knew from his sister that that was the day that he was leaving to drive to Pennsylvania to move away. Like he was headed out of town to never see him again. And so I messaged her. I was like, you will not believe. Actually, let me back up. I got my gas and I went on down
Now,
the
you
road.
tell the truth. You're at the gas pump and you looking past
I
that.
What'd she
no,
look like?
I did. Yeah, I already knew what she looked like, but I got my gas and I got out of there. So I didn't want to see him. I think it was just like whatever, like boy bye. And so I went down the road, got some like food or whatever, and I'm sitting there and he pulls up at the light again. And I'm like, what the heck? Why do I keep seeing him? So I like get my food. I'm pulling out I don't even remember what it was. It was Culver's or whatever. And I'm pulling out, and then he pulls into the plaza and we do like this, like we were passing each other. And I'm like, what the heck? So I had to go to Michael's to get a frame for my mom. And I go to pull out and I see him again. And I'm like, what in the world? So we get on I-4 and he's literally in front of me.
I had to return my Wi-Fi router for my internet.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I had to
Oh,
do before I left Florida. So yeah, then we
yeah.
get on I-4 and I'm following her, she's
No,
following me. Like,
yeah, he was in front of me. And then I like went to pass him. He like rolls his window down. And I'm like, I don't even look. I'm just like driving.
I
I'm
didn't
like,
know I rolled my window down. Like, I didn't roll it down because of you.
yeah,
I don't know if I knew she was there at that point, but I did see her at some point
yeah.
on I-4, and I think I kept
You're like, why are you
at that
stalking
point.
me?
Yeah.
At that point, I think I went behind, like I was
He
behind her,
did. He
and
followed
I
me for like
stayed
an hour.
behind her because I'm like,
And every time I got over and like out of traffic and like back in, he would like go, he would do the same thing. And I was like texting his sister, texting my friend, like taking pictures. I'm like, you will not believe who is behind me. Like, I haven't seen him in months. This is crazy. Like, why of all days?
And the
then,
girlfriend was with you, Jason?
yes,
yeah,
yes.
So that's why I didn't. That's the one reason I didn't, because I didn't want to hear from her, not Erin, but the other girl. I didn't want to hear like anything she had to say.
He didn't tell her
Because
that
yeah, I
it
didn't
was
tell her that it was her up like 3 cars ahead of us. And at some point, I think she was just like, "Why are we going
there
so
was
slow?" I'm
there was
like,
no three
"There's
cars
traffic."
ahead.
Sometimes you
You were
were.
behind me, like right behind me.
There was a couple times there was
He was like
cars
his
in
hands on the
between
steering wheel
us.
going.
Yeah.
Making little hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I get off the exit to go to my parents. Of course, he kept on, driving out of Florida, and I bawled my eyes out as soon as I saw him pass because I was like, I'm never gonna see him ever again. Like, that's it. It's done. And so he kept on going, drove Pennsylvania, whatever. Fast forward a couple months later, I had that dream, random dream, and so I like wrote this long message, sent to his sister. I was like, should I send this to him? Like, how do you think he'll take this? And she was like, yes, like send it to him. And so I did, and it was like, as soon as I hit send, I was like, all right, I don't think he's gonna respond. Put my phone down, went on, did my thing. I think went and mowed the grass, came back in, and I had this like long message back from him, and the rest is history. Like, we never stopped talking. We just kind of kept on the conversation back and forth. And um his mom, she was super excited when she found out. And as time went on, she was like, you need to plan a trip, because at that point he was living in Pennsylvania. I was still in Florida. She was like, you need to come up for the summer. And so I messaged him. I was like, hey, your mom wants me to come up in July. And I thought, like, I didn't know where this was headed. And we were still like questioning, like, how are we going to make this work? Like, I'm living in Florida, you're in Pennsylvania, like, my job is here, my daughter's father is here. But I just went with it. I just trusted, and was like, if this is what's supposed to happen, then God will make a way.
We weren't even like really at that point, I don't think, like talking about her moving up here
No,
or
none of
anything.
that.
I think
None of
at
that.
one point I said something pretty dumb, and I was like, I was like, "You're not coming up here to profess your love to me, are you?"
Yeah, he did. And I was like, no, of
But it's
course
like,
not.
but it's like, by the time she actually came up here, it's like we were pretty much back together.
Not pretty much. We
Yeah,
were.
and like we were like at that point when she came up here is when we started like, well, how can we make this work?
You were
Yeah.
both professing your love at that point.
Yeah, at that
Yeah.
point, yeah.
Yeah, we were. We
So-
were for sure.
But yeah, and then we just we prayed about it,
We did.
and we just said that, if it's gonna happen, God's gonna make it happen.
Yes.
And that's the only way that it's gonna happen.
Yes.
Because I can't go to Florida again.
Yep.
Even though at that point my kid's mom, she had told me she's staying in Florida.
She was
So
supposed to move with
yeah,
us.
she was gonna move up at like spring break or something. And she said, she changed her mind. She wasn't moving up. So kids were already moved up here in school. And I was like, I'm not moving back to Florida because the business needs me. My family needs me up here.
Mhm.
And Erin wanted to be up here too. She's
Yeah.
like, she's getting tired of Florida. There's so much traffic and all that kind of stuff. And
And I didn't have any family like close by. Like, my parents were 2 hours away. My brother's in South Carolina. So I had nothing really holding me there where I lived in Florida other than my job and my daughter's father. And
Yeah.
I
And
just
so you
kind of
put
was,
did you put your exes in Florida together?
no, no, his is married. She's
yeah, she got remarried.
not long after we
Yeah.
did the first time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Now, okay, I got a couple questions. Your parents ended up moving out while y'all were split
Yes.
up.
So when we when we got back together, when we started dating in February of 2023, not long after that, we went ahead and told them like, "Hey, I'm back together," and they were not supportive. And so after our divorce, he moved out, and I stayed in that house with my parents at the time. And then when they found out we were back together, they were just not
They thought I
supportive.
was going to move back in. I'm like, I'm not moving back in.
Yeah, they
You
just weren't really supportive of it. I think they were worried about like round two.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they just, also at the time, my aunt was sick and she lived where my parents live now. And my dad felt like he needed to be up there to support her. And so we just decided to sell the house. So we
Okay.
sold the house and
Oh, that's
they
right. You
moved.
bought another house in Florida.
I did. I did. Yep. Bought another house in Florida while we were dating. And um, that I bought like a house big enough for all of us, thinking that he was going to move back in it, after during that was the dating time. But anyways, yeah, so they moved north, I moved south, I moved back to where I lived, where I grew up originally. And so I was living on my own, completely on my own
And
at
what
the time.
about Courtney's dad? He was okay with all this?
Yeah, he was like 45 minutes from where I lived there in Winter Haven. And he uh he works a lot. And so I kind of took more custody of her at the time, so I took the responsibility of getting her to school. And I think he knew like he couldn't do all of that. It was hard, or it'd be hard for him to like get her to school there. And so yeah, so he agreed to it. And so that was kind of the start of our change in our child sharing plan. It wasn't really 50-50 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But so he essentially at that point had her instead of like what two it was
yeah,
like,
like every other weekend.
yeah, pretty much every other weekend is all he had at that
And then
time.
he'd like pick her up at nighttime after work sometimes and take her to like Starbucks or dinner or
Yeah,
whatever
Yeah.
and bring her
a
back.
couple nights a week. But yeah, because she was in school
Yep.
and he couldn't get her to school.
Yeah, where she was going to school there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 45-minute drive from where he lived to where I live. And so I just was like, hey, I'll get her to school all the time in the morning. You can pick her up at night. So he'd pick her up from the bus in the afternoon and hang out with her for a little bit. And then when I got home, he'd drop her off. And it worked. We did that for like little over 2 years. I was in that house. And then when we got together and decided to kind of push things forward, at that point, it was easier for me, I think, to ask to do the transition that we have, because it was almost like a stepping stone of like, okay, we've done this, now we're doing this. And it just kind of like, I just kept like the plan was more on, I guess the sharing was more on my side, the percentage.
Right.
And so it kind of led us to where we are today. So she goes back once a month to see her dad in Florida. And it's working out okay. I think it's working
So she
fine.
was okay with moving?
Yeah, she wanted to. She was excited. She didn't like the school she was going to at the time, and I think she was kind of over Florida too. We were like ready for change, and she missed Aria, Jason's youngest, and Gia, the girls. She grew up with them essentially. She's, been around them since she was 4. And so she looked forward to, having them back in her life again, having
Yeah.
someone in the house. So,
Now, in the beginning, you mentioned something about your relationship with Jason's son.
yes.
So, in the
Yes.
beginning,
Oh,
that was one of your hardest relationships.
it was. It was. He was what, like 10, 11 when we separated?
Probably.
Somewhere
Yeah.
11, 12 maybe. I think because he was the oldest, he was still struggling with the divorce between his mom and his dad, and didn't understand a lot of things. And I am like things clean and not messy, and that, as a boy, it was hard. And so I think I was a little hard on him with stuff because I was not nachoing in the very beginning and like getting on to him for with things, and so that's hard coming from this random person, this woman that's all of a sudden married to his dad, and he doesn't like it was a lot for him, whirlwind, I'm sure,
Mhm.
like the separation. Um and so we butt heads a lot. It was really hard. And so I think I was kind of hard on him and Jason, that was one of the things when I said in the beginning about, just because the way things are now doesn't mean they'll always be this way. And so I'm probably of all the kids closest to him now. I have the complete opposite relationship with him. Like we'll have full on conversations about just life and um just anything really, anything he wants to talk about.
Yeah, at the worst timing.
Yeah.
At the worst
we're
She's
trying
timing.
to
trying to go to bed, and he's like, well, he still drives her nuts because he'll come in and use our shower, not the shower outside of his bedroom.
Did he do that
Um,
before?
No.
Okay. Why was I
Well,
thinking?
he did when it was just me and the kids here, and because then the girls would use the other bathroom, and me
Right.
and him use this bathroom. But then Aaron moves in, and he still wants to use this shower because it's an actual shower. It's not a bathtub with a shower, so it
Yeah.
makes no sense because there's more space in the bathtub with the shower head.
That's beside the point.
Yeah. So,
He's
but
still a boy. He's still,
yeah.
teenage boy.
So yeah, he'll just come in at like 10:30 at night after he gets a shower and like stands there and talks to us. We're like, we're trying to go to bed.
No, he talks to me. He's talking to me.
Yeah,
He
'cause
talks.
I'm just trying to go to bed.
Yeah, he's like telling me about his day or youth group at night,
All
whatever
the
it
cars
is.
he wants to buy.
Yeah, cars he wants to buy, just whatever it is. But it's funny because if you would have asked me 5, 6 years ago, would I be close to him? I would have told you, heck no. Like it was not good. It was not a
Yeah.
good relationship between me and him. And yeah, it's not that now. It's completely different. Surprisingly, like I've still told my parents, I'm like, if you saw Caden today and like had a conversation with him, like you would not even think he's the same person because like he's changed so much, matured.
Isn't that
lot.
amazing?
It is. It really is. It
Yeah.
really truly is.
And I know it's kind of aggravating when he wants to talk at night, but one day he's not going to want to.
I
I mean,
know.
not because he doesn't like you, but just because they kind of grow out of that. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
and that's
Yes.
great. Jason, you just need to
Yes.
go sleep somewhere else.
It's
Stay up
funny.
later.
It's good. It's been good because I think that it helps the other kids see. Like my daughter's even said to me, like, Mom, I think Caden's the most excited about you being here. And I just think that's so cute. Like that just makes my heart so happy.
Mhm.
And I think it's good for the other two of Jason's kids to see that like I have a good relationship with him. And I like even with Aria, it's gotten like within the last month, it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, it gets better. She can be like a roller coaster sometimes though.
Yeah, but it really has been like, I mean, she for a little bit, like when I first moved in, it was good, and then it like got kind of yucky with her, and now it's like back good again. But he got on to her and was like, "You're not gonna talk to Erin like this. Like that's not okay." And he set that foundation, like what's okay, what's acceptable, and what's not
Yeah.
acceptable. And now she's learned what's not acceptable, and she doesn't do that to me the way she was before. And so I try to be supportive of her as well and encouraging and just there for her. And I tell her, I'm like, I'll never try to be your mom or replace your mom. Like, I'm just here to help support you and encourage you and love on you. But I want to be clear to her so she knows that I'm not trying to replace her mom because
Right.
that's not my heart. So
And when did y'all get remarried again?
we got married November 8th of last year. So we're like
So-
6 months.
So
6 months
Jason,
in.
I have to ask,
Uh
does she want you to buy 2 anniversary gifts?
oh.
No, no.
I
We
think
actually
Jay-
just passed our first anniversary, and I posted on
It's like
Facebook.
happy first anniversary.
I saw that because
What?
I
You
heard
had
it.
texted me like happy first anniversary. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, from our first
Yeah.
wedding.
I was thinking that too this morning.
So
Yeah.
then you can say, look, we've been together on and off for 10 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, next year would be 10 years.
So
Um,
y'all were separated between your divorce and getting remarried 3.5 years.
So we got divorced in May of 2022 and we got remarried November of 2025. So yeah,
Wow.
it's like 3.5 years. Yeah.
I think if Lori would have been without me for 3.5 years, she would have been like, she would never look back. She would
No.
have gone.
I'd been bye boy.
I mean, like I said, like we kind of always stayed in touch. The longest time that we didn't talk was when he was with that other girl. Just kidding.
Skanko.
For like 6 months.
Poor
But that
girl.
was everything happened the way it was supposed to happen.
Yep.
And I truly believe that you know, there was a plan from the beginning and I needed that time away to work on myself and him to do the same. And so, you know, maturity,
Mm-hmm.
growth and maturity happened and I learned some things about myself and so yeah. It's weird, like when we got back together, it was like some of his family, like not the direct family, but some of the like cousins and all that were like, oh, we didn't know y'all got divorced. We're like, where have you been? We got divorced like 3 years ago. So yeah, that was kind of funny.
I
Are
don't
your
talk to them
parents-
that much?
Are your parents okay with it now?
They are. They are. You know, that's an amazing thing. They were very unsure about it again. But I think have shown them you know, what it can look like when you put God first in your marriage. And that was my heart too for the kids, for them to see like, hey, they got to see our first marriage, our second marriage, and have even like Hayden has commented without me even asking him about like the differences with our relationship. And he has said to me, he's like, I don't want your first marriage. I'm like, I didn't want our first marriage. Like he wants our relationship like the relationship we have now. And so that I think is an amazing testimony that the kids have got to see two different versions, like what's just with it, you know, obviously within the same people. And like how you can change and things can be different. So
Right.
it really is it's important, you know, to like learn to forgive and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know one of the things when David and I were going through our hardest times was he sat the kids down and told them, he said, we're going through spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
And I think blended families are the easiest to be attacked.
Yes.
For sure, 100%.
100%.
It's because she had a devil in her.
I think it's a lot of people don't understand spiritual warfare
Yeah.
either. Like I mean, especially if people aren't believers, like, but it's so strong and prevalent. Like people when you're under attack from the devil,
Yeah.
and sometimes like people just don't know that they can, you know, pray that away.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
You
fight
know,
it.
Yeah, you gotta fight it, and
Yes.
it's, you know, it will go away, and you gotta you're trusting God and trusting, you know, that it you'll pull through it, and that's why like I still I think there's things still now that, you know, I can look at and say like it's just a battle. It's a battle that we're going through, and I'm just trusting that God will pull us through some of those battles,
Give you
and
the
whether
strength to
it's
fight it. Yeah.
yeah, whether it's something the kids are going through or us or, you know, everything to me, I think everything's a battle. And it's like if it's not, I just say in God's timing, it will the right, you know, it'll all work out. I have had Romans 8:28 through. I was wearing it a lot, and it's been a verse that's been like a staple in my life. Like just all things will work together for His good, and yep, if you believe it, you're backed by His blood and the Bible, and
Yes.
it's going to work out.
Yep.
So,
And it did. It did. Things that I never thought would work out, or like questions like how is this gonna work? And it just did. Even situation with, Courtney's dad, and I sold
Yeah.
my house. I sold my house.
it's
And
just been one thing after the
it
next.
has
Like
literally.
your house, your Courtney's dad,
Yes.
your job.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even now, like we're looking for a house to buy a house, and I'm just like, she's like over here, like changing floor plans out and everything with a house that we haven't even looked at yet. And I'm like, just be patient. Like I
It's
told her,
gonna
like
come. Yeah.
you're like Chat GPT and like different floor plans. And I'm
It's
like,
fun.
we haven't even seen the house yet.
Fun. It's fun to me. I enjoy it.
But I'm like, let's go see the house first if it even might work.
Yes.
And but yeah, I know that, when that right house comes along, like, it will the opportunity will present itself.
Yep.
And the right doors will open.
Yep.
Yep.
And we just pray the right doors open, and the ones that are supposed to be shut stay shut.
Yep. That's
Yep.
right. And it keeps happening.
Yeah.
I feel like God keeps saying, "See, Erin, see, see." I'm like, okay, I hear you. I see now. You're right. I was
Mhm.
wrong.
Yep.
So, yes.
Well, I know
I
you've got to go pick the kids up, so I don't want to make you late for that.
no,
But I want to.
we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we still got
But I
like
wanted to
20
tell
minutes.
you that I am so happy for y'all.
Thank
And
you.
I'm happy that both of you fought for your marriage.
Yes.
And I think it's important, like you said, your kids saw you fight for your marriage, and ours did too.
Yes.
Marriages aren't disposable.
Yeah,
that's the word I'm looking
relationships
for.
aren't. People aren't. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except for Jason's with that chick. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
well, as long as you do it within 2 weeks.
Yeah. I think everybody should have the 2-week philosophy,
I mean, it worked through high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Good. I think my he might be developing it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't. He hasn't shown. I mean, he's been interested in girls, but it's like I don't think he's interested in anyone from the school. So it's like
he told me he's not ready.
He's not ready.
He's just not ready for a relationship yet.
which is good.
That's
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
We're not ready either.
Yeah, we're not.
Well, I know when I had my list of what I wanted and would not tolerate in a relationship, and I
Yeah.
would go out with somebody. Of course, this was before I met David, and I would go out with somebody, and if there was something on that list, a red flag, I was not ignoring it. There were no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, it was a hard list. I'd be like,
Yeah.
next.
Yep.
Just not wasting my time.
But that's like one thing that I can say that I learned too is like you're never gonna have a perfect marriage. No
No.
matter how hard you try, it will never be perfect. And you just have to like find the one that makes I'm gonna say you can't live without, but
You can deal
That
with
you're
their
willing to
mess.
work
Yeah.
through it with.
yes, willing to work through it with what's okay and what's not okay. And there's a lot of things like value wise that I realized in our separation that we are like that is there, the foundation is there. And so I just you can't have the mindset 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You just got to be all in.
Yep. That's
You got to
right.
be all in. So
Yep. One more
lots of
question. Did you get a new ring?
I did. I did. I don't know if you can see, but
Oh, it's beautiful.
yes.
Yes.
The first one was white gold, and then I just always like
She said, I don't really like white gold.
I don't really like white gold. I'm like, I really
That's why the
want
whole
yellow.
marriage ended, right?
Yeah, started out in the wrong
I
foot.
wanted a new
But
ring.
then she gave me the ring. She gave me the ring and was like, you can just dip it in yellow gold. And I'm like, I ain't using an old ring.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I was
tainted.
okay.
I gave it to
it's
the
not
other
an
girl.
old ring.
Oh my word. No, I just told him, I was like, well, like if you want to save money and reuse it. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm like, but can we make it yellow gold, please? But and then he surprised me and I got a new one. So I think it was better. And he had it engraved with
Second time around.
God at the center.
yeah, God at the center, which
Aw.
I loved. I loved that he did that. It was really awesome and
And
just
it's
meant a
got
lot.
six. The ring has 6 stones, so there's 6 of us,
Yes.
and then there's the main stone. So the main stone, we kind of just say God at the center.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
was really-
Jason.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
I put a
impressed.
little thought into
He
it.
did.
Yes,
He
you
My
knocked,
sister
did.
might have helped a little bit.
he knocked it out of the
You
park.
know,
He did. He knocked.
like you got to make something with meaning to it. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
alright,
see,
well,
I probably would have
something
put
out.
like Jason and Erin 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Kind of a
would.
reboot.
Yes. It's I think that's the other thing too, is like you think on the second time around people like expect you like to fail, and I'm like, nope. It's not happening this
Oh,
time. Not
no.
with God.
Uh-uh.
Not with God at the
That-
center. It's not happening.
Well, not just that, but it's not an option, right?
Yes. Not an option.
no.
Yeah.
It's not an
I
option.
mean, you there's just so many sacrifices I think that she's gone through, and
Yeah.
I've gone through a lot too, and it's just like, no, it's not an option.
Yep.
Yep. And now she has to deal with cold weather and snow.
I left
She
my
loved
whole
it.
I left my whole life in Florida to come be with him. So, but I love it up here. I do. It's I wouldn't go back to Florida.
Really?
Don't want to go. No, I love it here. I do.
That's good.
I really
That helps,
do.
right? Because if you hated
Yes.
it, that would suck.
Yeah, it would. My allergies don't love it, but I love it here.
Well, I think allergies
So.
are killing everybody this year.
I know. Ugh,
Yeah.
it's no fun.
Well, it has been great. It really has. And seeing y'all's
Yes.
faces again. I'm surprised
Yes.
Jason's not eating ice cream though. Because all the time on our Q&A calls and our one-on-one calls or whatever, he's over there eating ice cream the whole time.
He went to the ice cream store right before we started recording. So
Yeah, we did. Well, that was for the kids. I didn't eat any ice
it's for
cream.
the
Well,
kids.
Well, so
Yeah.
for other people, though, the context of that, though, Jason, tell everybody what you do in your family business.
Yeah.
So we have 2 ice cream stores, Sons, in Lancaster County, and we basically, my sister and I took over ownership this year from my mom. So my sister ran it for quite some time, and then when my dad got sick, she fully took over running it, and he kind of just ran in the background. And it was last year that she's like, people were quitting, like leaving, and she's like, I can't do this on my own. So that's when we started talking about me moving up here to help out. Me and my dad started it in 2003, and it was 2010 when I left the store to go work. I worked for Amtrak, and just had benefits and stuff like that. So we run 2 stores, and it's busy. It keeps us busy all the time, basically.
Yeah.
So
Well, if we ever make it to
good.
the other Lancaster, not meaning the one in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, instead of the one in South Carolina, of course we're going to come see you and we're going to get
That's
some ice
right.
cream.
You should come up
Yeah.
here and visit and go see some Amish and
Yes.
all
Oh,
kinds of
yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, we're out in Amish country.
Yeah, we have to do that.
Yeah.
It is good to hear somebody else pronounce Lancaster properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the California way.
How do
Did they say
it?
Lancaster there?
Mm,
They say Lancaster
Lancaster.
in California.
Oh,
in California.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like a
one of my sons was out
Lancaster.
in California, at Air Force Base, and it's right outside of Lancaster, California. And every time he would say Lancaster, they were like, "Why do you say it like that? It's Lancaster." And he's like, "No, it's not."
So
I didn't
funny.
even know there was one in South Carolina until I met you guys. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we both live in Lancaster County. We're just in 2 different
Yeah.
states.
yeah.
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 Oh, that's too funny.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania is the sister city of Lancaster, South Carolina.
Mm.
Yeah, because you're the Red Rose city too, right?
In Lancaster City, yeah, Red Rose Transit and some
Really?
stuff.
Yep.
It's like-
Yeah, because ours is Red Rose as well. We're sister
That's
cities.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
interesting.
Look at
Oh,
their
that's cute.
sister.
Aw, aw. That's cute. Love
Yep.
it.
Well, go get your
Well,
kids.
Well, thank you for everything, for being there, through the beginning and the now. And we're just so thankful for you guys and Nacho Kids.
Well,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
And I'm just glad that you finally figured it out.
We did. Finally listened.
Yep.
Yeah. I know when
So-
Lori came back to me and she's like, Jason and Erin, they got divorced. I'm like, oh man, that sucks. And
Yep.
then,
I was all sad.
and then one day she comes up, Jason and Erin got remarried. I'm like, what?
Yes.
What?
Round
They want to be on the
two.
podcast. I'm like, yeah, we need to talk about this.
Yes. Yes. We, I hope that our story can help someone else and provide them hope that it can change. It can be better.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
and Nacho away.
Yep.
that's right.
And we will have to have y'all back soon.
Yeah, the third time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let us
Maybe
know
we'll
when y'all
meet
get
up in
divorced or
person and do
remarried
it.
again.
No, they're not doing that again.
No.
Erin
we're
likes
not-
her ring this time.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Oh.
All right.
Mm.
We will talk to y'all soon.
All
Yeah.
right.
That
You
sounds
guys have a
good.
great night.
Thank you.
You
Thanks
too.
so much. Bye.
Bye.